Happy Thursday and welcome back to the You Good Podcast, the podcast where oversharing is encouraged and the thoughts get real. I am your host, C-Rod, joined as always by my co-host, Nick. Today's episode brings someone into the room who was a part of my life during some of the most formative, chaotic, unforgettable years, and who's still a part of it now, just in a very different way. We're talking about college days that still come up in group chats to transition into real adulthood and how certain identities stick with you long after environments change. There's nostalgia, there's growth, there's proof that some bonds don't fade, they just evolve. And I'm so happy to get into episode today. Welcome to episode 39. Team Domination Never Dies. Let's get into it. Nick, I can truly say that Aaron Judge, I'm wearing this Yankee shirt today, in honor of Aaron Judge being in pure playoff form in the WBC. Did you happen to catch that either game?
Yeah, I can't wait till he starts the season 0 for 36.
But he's not. He's going to start the season 36 for 36.
Yeah, not happening. Watch him go ice cold. He's got to go back. He's going back to spring training. He's going to go ice cold.
The man can only play in regular games. He can't play in playoffs, in World Series, or World Baseball Classic finals. It was really disheartening that USA lost that, especially to Eduardo Rodriguez.
Yeah. The DR game was way more entertaining.
It was, but it also wasn't, because it was 3 home runs. Like, that was it. Honestly, the umps saved us that game. I mean, we had this stacked team, and all they keep saying is, oh, the MLB teams delayed us. The MLB teams, put whatever, precautions around our players, and we can't play. Whatever.
Excuses. I just find it funny that the people like Venezuela just won. And what we just did to them as a country. I was like, hey, I get you. There you go. Enjoy. You got that.
All right. Well, I want to get into today's guest as soon as possible. We'll get into sports chatter and sports banter. So I want to properly introduce today's guest. Craig Shandler is one of my fraternity brothers, one of those people, again, who has been present across multiple versions of my life. He was one of my best friends in college. He is in, I think, all of my fantasy leagues and has been for 10 plus years. We meet up when we can. I was, a part of his wedding, and it's really just everything in between. He's a father to 2 beautiful girls, a personal injury lawyer in South Florida, and someone, he's just the most calm, unbothered person that I know. He still is now, as he was back then. Craig, welcome to episode 39. Welcome to the You Good Podcast. I appreciate you being here, brother.
Wow, I'm honored to be here and bestowed upon that great introduction. I appreciate you.
There are no, I mean, there are more words that I could give you, but again, you're just the most cool, calm, and collected person now as you were 10, 15 years ago. So that's all I can say.
I appreciate that. I'm definitely the same person. Evolved. I think you said evolved, and that's definitely true. I think you said the word unbothered. That's definitely not true. Definitely bothered.
You're fully bothered
by some things, but everything else I appreciate.
Yeah, of course. And like I said before, every time I see you, the rogue hair gets grayer, but that's really the only thing that's changed with you.
That's it. I'm proud. It's spreading to my the sides of my hair and throughout, but it's okay, man. It's okay.
I want to pause. If you're listening, unfortunately you won't see this, but if you're watching, I would like for the both of you to rise a little bit and show that you have the same exact shirt on.
Yes, sir.
But 100% this was unplanned. Is that correct?
That is definitely
1,000%.
correct.
Yeah, we did not. We barely spoke in the pre-chat in the group chat. This was not planned
This
at all, but, I mean, both of our fantasy football teams are represented, so
And your
it was a
fantasy football
no-brainer.
teams are, if you're listening, if they're only listening, tell them what fantasy team are you representing?
well, I'm representing the macho men, but I think the real person that needs to
Y
speak on the fantasy season is Big Nick.
Yeah, yeah, no, the champ, the Ultimate Warriors, so but it was purely, like, 'cause of Craig. Like, when I saw the Macho Man, I'm like, "Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
no-brainer. I'm
Yeah,
going with the Ultimate Warriors," and it
and
hasn't changed.
uh,
Like
way better than C-Rod shirt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. Aaron
All
hey,
right.
Judge
it's
is a
just
bum.
this shirt is just as old.
Oh god.
I wish I had that shirt. We could have been a trio if you guys would have let me know. I would have bought it.
I mean, I bought this a long ass time ago.
Uh,
I love it. I love it. We'll get into it more, obviously, about your wrestling personas that you have in fantasy because that league is not the only one. He goes by Stone Cold and another, and he has really driven the 1990s wrestling persona themes to a lot of our fantasy leagues. I love it. I love it. He's you're so you now that you're here and introduced, you're so old school, and it's fantastic. I've always thought that you were such an old soul. One of the first things that we do, Craig, on our episodes weekly is a rotational opener. And I wanted to do one that was not due this week, but it is Nick's favorite. And because of your love for music and just love for the art of song, I wanted to go with song on repeat. So I will let you go first, Craig. What this is, give us a song maybe that you've been listening to on repeat recently that has just had your mental health elevated. You know, whether it's something that puts you in the mood, gets you right in the morning, something that's uplifting, or that has picked you up. Give me
wow.
something good that's not Mongolian rock.
Do you know about Mongolian rock?
You can educate me after you give me this song.
Damn, I wish I had some notice on this. I'll tell you, I've been actually just I know you dogged me on my technological skills, but I haven't downloaded any new songs recently. So for my
You still
birthday,
using LimeWire?
recently, my wife got me an Apple gift card, so I was able to download some new songs to which I really mostly listen to when I go to the gym or when I'm in shaving or something. So going through my recent downloads here, and I've got two songs by Iron Maiden,
Oh,
and I got
not Mongolian,
not
but
well, I do
rock.
have the Mongolian rock, but I got "Hallowed Be Thy Name" has been a song that I've definitely been listening to.
I do not know that
No,
song. Nick is
I
the
mean,
music connoisseur.
I got all the whole
Nick,
gamut here. I
no.
got some Dr. Dre and Ice Cube, Natural Born Killers. I don't know where we're trying to. I wasn't ready for. I got the
That's how you
Biscuit,
know it's all real, buddy.
brand new, Papa Roach, Tame Impala,
I just,
TV on the
I just
radio.
asked. Keep it back to your Iron
What
Maiden. It's
that
okay that
was.
we don't know it. Again,
I'm sure
Iron Maiden is an older
Nick
group. I said that
knows.
you're an
Yeah, I
old
mean,
soul.
I know, I mean, I'm sure I've heard it. I just
All
don't
right,
know
you
Iron Maiden by
playing this,
titles.
or I don't know if that's. I don't know what the
No,
you should
You
have given
did, you
me
did good,
notice
buddy.
about this. I could have come with something.
he likes he likes if you listen, he likes to spring stuff on
Yeah,
us all
Yes,
the time. So
it's that's the
he
most
enjoys
pure
it.
form.
He enjoys doing this to us. So don't feel bad.
oh, I got.
Nick, how about
I
you?
just got. I got a ton out there.
Um Currently some jazz. I'm back on my jazz shit. So
Okay.
Golden Days by Mama's Gun. Uh, it literally came across my Spotify like 2 days ago, and it's just been. I actually just listened to their whole like discography the other day.
Good
So
lord,
well, yeah.
that's a
I'm
whole
proud to say I
discography.
think I aced my history of jazz class in college my freshman year.
Hell yeah.
Good call on the jazz.
I love it.
Is this a true
It's
is
one of
this a
my
true
favorite.
statement, Craig? Did you really take
One,
jazz in college?
bro, isn't this podcast about truth? Do you think I'm making up? I took a history of jazz class. I took that. I think that's
Yeah, I
like
was like, it's too very specific to be like, oh yeah, no, he's just yanking my
yeah,
chain right now.
jazz. Yes,
Dogging me,
that
bro.
was I think my first or second semester. It was we
Why?
we walked
Just to get a credit?
some kind of credit, and I'm pretty sure it was just
Yeah.
one super long documentary on the history of jazz.
Yeah.
But I like jazz, man.
No, I think you're right. It was like one of those extracurricular credits you did because I think I took a history of movies or something, and we
I think it was
literally
an
just went
arts
in and
credit you
watched
probably needed.
old
Yep.
ass
Blue
movies.
Note Records.
Yeah.
My uncle worked for Blue Note Records, a
Oh, neat.
deceased record label, jazz label, and I used to get a whole bunch of CDs.
Interesting.
Art,
That is very
Art
interesting.
Blakey. You know what?
Well,
You know about that, Jack? Nicky?
Yeah.
Nikki, I like
Nikki,
it.
I'm
Nick, give us your deep dive of jazz history.
What?
Nick's? Nick, you got it.
Oh, of what?
Don't worry. Don't worry
I'm not
about
the one
it.
that
Don't worry
didn't take
about
the
it.
jazz history class.
I know, but don't you play the flute or
The
whatever
trumpet.
jazz is?
I don't play the fucking jazz flute. The soft J, the Yaz
skin flute.
That either. That'd be Dylan and Boz.
Oh God. Well, so I just got back from a 1,600-mile road trip, and
Nice.
I was actually thinking about what song I wanted to pick because I listened to numerous albums going up, especially when the kids fell asleep. I got to listen to
It's gonna be some T Swift.
dirtier albums.
I already know it's gonna be some T Swift.
No, it was actually going to be a P Diddy song, but I was like, no, that's not right. Let's go with Nelly. I've been playing a lot of Nelly recently. I don't know why, but Ride With Me, Ride With Me is one of my favorite songs of all time. And just on the way to a wedding, I was getting crunk and I listened to that song multiple times. I don't think that song has ever put me in a bad mood. It's a party song. It's a crunk song. It gets you going at a wedding, at a bar.
I don't think I've heard that.
Not to Nelly.
Instead of saying chopped.
I've seen Sierra get crunk. And
Craig has seen you get crunk.
What's the apple bottom jeans?
Boots with the fur.
I think about my man C-Rod anytime I hear that song. I have a memories of you burnt into my head from I think Liquid Cellar.
Yeah,
and that song.
Any memories that you remember enough to share?
Just being you were super wasted on the dance floor, getting down in your apple bottom jeans.
I mean, I do love that song.
Apple bottoms, nice.
Okay, all right. I'm not wearing apple bottoms. Okay, but I what are they called? The Megan knees. I used to be able to get down for a 6'2", 280-pound dude. Closer to 300 now, but
Show me
it is what it is. All right, Craig. Before we jump into it, I know that we've talked about this before, and because we're on the topic of music. Seriously, tell me about Mongolian rock. I know that you have an obsession with it. It's something that you truly enjoy. Highlight it for us.
Actually, I had Shazammed a song randomly, and I didn't remember what it was from, but I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Righteous Gemstones.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of one of the episodes, they played some song when they were rolling the credits, and it sounded definitely unique and weird and cool, and I Shazammed it, and I remembered to follow up on it until like a couple weeks later. I was like, what song is this in the Shazam list over here? And the song was by the group The Who, H-U. And
not like the Who that we know.
Oh no, hold on a second. Let me just make sure I'm getting the correct information here. Yes, The Who, H-U, and the song was called Wolf Totem. and
Huh.
that's the song I definitely jam out to at the gym or in the car. And then, so I started Googling The Who. They're like a huge band. They are like
Mhm.
streamed billions of times on like Spotify, and just unique and genuine to who they are. And I appreciate genuineness. And these guys are seem to be super cool. And I can definitely get down with the Mongolian rock.
Very interesting.
Yep.
Very interesting.
Nice.
Mongolian rock on one hand, and the only thing that I know Craig for is old school gangster rap. When I met Craig, he was such a gangster. He was such a little dweeb, little gangster boy. You know,
Well,
he's grown
hold on,
older
hold on.
now.
Dweeb. Yeah, retract that. Retract that.
Cut that, cut
You
that, cut
gotta,
that.
you gotta correct
I
yourself
will
over here.
share some old pictures of Craig. He's so cute and little, but just a gangster
Well, dude,
G.
compared to you, I'm average, at least average size over here.
Uh,
But
Craig, a new question to open the show. We're going to get into the segment shortly, but what's the most interesting thing about you that people usually wouldn't expect?
Personally, or just in my life, the most unexpected thing would be my appearance on Family Feud. That that was unexpected.
Okay. All right. Well, we will get into that. I'm excited to talk about Family
Yeah,
Feud. I was hoping
same.
you'd say something else more interesting, but that's fine. That is
I,
very interesting.
I
It is. It is.
I should have been provided with a list of topics and
Oh
things I could
my
have prepared
goodness. You and the
for over
provisions.
here.
No. All right, here. How about this? Last week we had an episode about spring break as we got into spring break, and Nick really broke my heart, not being a spring breaker himself,
Not a spring breaker.
wasn't able to
Not my cup
reciprocate the
of tea.
communications.
Yeah.
So what we'll start with, Craig, is you, my friend, have been a part of some of the most epic spring breaks that we've had, and one of them that is currently being talked about in the group chat right now is a college spring break where we took a booze cruise from somewhere on the west coast of Florida down to the Bahamas, right? And what I remember about this place is they had just started serving Subway breakfast. They were like testing the Subway breakfast in the Bahamas, which is really weird. So we went to this Subway at like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. It's hot outside. There's no air conditioning. And they're like serving us these nasty ass eggs. That was their test market, was the fucking Bahamas. But anyways, uh Craig, there is a story that you had texted about where I had fought a fraternity brother in one of our rooms, and I wanted to just see if you could shed some light on that or what you
What?
remember about, that spring break trip itself.
Wow, that is true. I'll tell you the truth. My spring break memories have melded into one giant spring break because I met you my sophomore year. I don't remember. I
Yeah.
don't remember what I did. I was trying to think about it today, actually, what I did my freshman spring break, and I really don't remember. But I know my sophomore and junior year, I went to the Bahamas with my
Was that
students.
my freshman year?
Yeah,
You're 1 year, same pledge class, but 1 year older than me,
yes, sir.
right?
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Um, so yeah, I remember the square. I don't even remember that booze cruise.
So okay.
I remember the
So
Bahamas
Nick,
though.
we go to the Bahamas, right? And it's this old ass
It was
motel that's
called
like
the
a little.
Square,
Oh, I thought we just called it the
or
Square.
maybe that's true. But I
Oh,
thought that
I
there
don't
was a
know.
name, the Square, because I worked for this group. I don't even know if they're still a company, Student City. And I remember I like was able to bring people on the like kind of coordinate the trip.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I remember that we had some fraternity brothers that were so bougie that they went and paid extra money to go to a higher class, fancier
Wow.
hotel because this hotel was so run down and shitty. But we were freshmen, sophomores in college. Like, we didn't need these lavish hotels.
Oh
The
man,
bougier, the shittier the
I
better.
didn't even
And
remember that. You're
you
right
don't remember
though.
that?
I do
Well,
remember that now that you bring it up. But yeah,
yeah, a couple of them
yeah.
left. Like we
I
checked in
do
there, like, oh,
remember
I'm
that.
not sleeping here.
Yeah.
I'm too
Oh
good
my
for
god,
this.
dude, that is
I
that's
hope he.
a
I'm not gonna call him out, but I hope he listens to
you
this
unlocked a
episode and I get a text
20-year-old
later.
memory that I had
Yeah.
forgotten. But you're right. You're definitely right.
Do you remember AJ hitting the bird walk in our hotel room? Watch me hit my bird walk. Well, I'll have to see if
Oh
he's okay with me
god.
posting that video
Uh,
because I still have it.
what would I?
Anyways, one of the best spring breaks we had ever been on. But there was literally like a little square where that's where the bar was, and everybody partied there all night. And Nick, I'll tell you, I'll never forget this. But I had just broken up with Nicole Nelson, my longtime high school girlfriend, and we're at the square, we're partying, I'm hammered. I turn, and who do I fucking see? My ex girlfriend, like hanging out with my fraternity brothers, and I'm like, there's
Oh
no way she's
Jesus.
here. We had
Oh
just broken
god.
up, I think a few months before that, maybe a little bit longer, and I'm sitting here hammered. People, I'm like, oh shit, she's there. I mean, nothing happened. We hung out for a little bit, like it was all normal, but that was just a crazy moment. I mean, there's so many crazy
It was all
memories.
normal, but
Uh, that was the last time I drank Jaeger. I bought a bottle of Jaeger for the whole weekend, and I drank it in one night. Because of fucking Danny Nism. He was. What are you trying to think of? If you remember that, you took shots of it. I have pictures of you shooting it.
Uh,
I have
dude,
so
I'm
many
telling
pictures
you,
from that trip.
I don't. It sounds. I'm sure. If there was
it's all
if there was
plausible. It's all
a
plausible.
time in my life, and it never happened often, I've always had a voice in the back of my head that generally has been able to reel me in, but not all the time, and definitely not on spring break. Spring break,
Yeah.
that guy went on spring break, and I definitely did whatever I wanted to do.
Hell yeah. I mean that was the era of our life where everything was just reckless and endless. Like we had just started, we had just pledged that fraternity. We were all meeting each other for the first time, and like that was like one of the first real trips that we had taken together. I don't know if that was before or after formal, but it was one of like the first big trips that we had as a fraternity. It was awesome. My other memory of you, Craig, because you're not on Facebook much, and one of our most infamous pictures is on St. Patrick's Day. Do you remember this picture?
Oh, I see it every St. Patrick's Day. I love it.
And we were. Do you remember what bar we were at?
Um, Pounders.
Pounders. Nick, do you remember Pounders? Did you ever visit that when you came
I
out?
don't think so. I don't think. Man. Dude, anytime I was out in Orlando, I was blacked out. Like there, I don't remember.
Well, it
But
wasn't it wasn't close to campus, right? It was like a 10-minute drive from campus, right,
Oh
Craig?
yeah, it was. I remember down one street. Yeah, probably. Yeah, something like that. 10 minutes.
So it was a day glow party, and
oh,
Craig used to
okay.
have an apartment that Science Drive, maybe.
Definitely Science Drive. Wow.
Definitely. How do I remember that? And you don't. Where we would pregame a lot, and we used to make a cooler full of purple drink. Do you remember this?
Dude,
Purple
that
drink.
Science Drive entire life of mine was complete insanity.
It was.
Mike, I lived with three of my friends originally, and then two of them ended up getting kicked out. That's a huge story. That's a long. I don't know
Well,
if
I
we're
guess
trying
don't.
to go down
All
that
right,
route, but
tell me without saying who they were. Tell me why they got kicked out, though.
uh,
Give me the interesting part.
insane, completely insane experience. I'll try to condense it, but um, whew, man, we had I had a bunch of friends in there and doing some stuff, and all of a sudden someone starts pounding on the door. And this night, I remember this. I was pledging. I was still pledging, and I was in my
Okay.
room, and my room was the first one, right next to the window and the front door. And I was actually doing some kind of homework or something. Like one of the few times in college I actually remember doing homework, whatever was going on. And then it's a cop knock, and I look out and there's cops. And I remember calling one of our older fraternity brothers and being like, "Yo, there's some cops knocking on my door. I don't know what's going on. What should I do?" And he was just like, "Yeah, just turn all the lights off and get on the ground. Just chill." So I'm like, "Fuck." We have some. It's a bit of a seedy situation, but
Turn the
no,
lights on. Wait, did you say turn the lights off and get on the ground, or
or
on and get on the
just like
ground
try
like
to
you
chill. Like
guys?
there's nothing
Yeah,
going
act like
on.
you're not
We're not
there.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying the cops came in and they were like, "Get down on the
Well,
ground."
so I don't even remember what I did exactly, but long story short, cops end up coming into my apartment, find some stuff. Um, they're the story is my friend, one of my friends that I lived with
Allegedly. Make
from
sure you
high
say
school.
allegedly.
All of this is alleged. Uh, almost like it was early on when we were living there. Almost walked into the wrong apartment, or went to walk into the wrong apartment, thinking that it was ours. And
Oh,
these girls freaked out and called the police. And it turned out like there were some other places like robbed in the neighborhood,
Mm.
and they come in basically looking for my friend. My friend is the one that let them in because he didn't have his ID on him. And in my legal career, now looking back on it, it's a very fucked up
you did
situation.
everything
It's
wrong.
very fucked up all the way around. But long story short, they
Mm.
thought that my friend had robbed someone.
You keep saying that.
He did not. And then my two friends that I lived with ended up getting kicked out. So then two random people moved in that second semester, which is when all this started happening in Science Drive. So that was with my friend Brian,
I remember.
who was just like 18, who was a complete wild man, came into my life and started this drink in the cooler, which was the story that you were getting into. So
Oh, he started the purple
Purple
drink.
drink.
I don't remember purple. I remember there being a big cooler and a bunch of ice
Yep.
and
Hunch punch. Just
gasoline
making
and
hunch punch.
alcohol.
It was just a hunch punch, but it turned because there was like lemonade, right? And then we would put some other
Oh,
juices in it, and it turned it green or
Well,
purple
because
or
that
something.
was for St.
But
Patrick's Day, so it was a special event also.
well, I know we definitely at some point called it purple drink. I'm just gonna tell you
I
that's a true
believe you.
statement.
I don't remember.
The other thing that I want to get into, I don't want to dive. We've had a ton of fraternity brothers on, and I love you to death, and I love Kappa Sig. But I don't want to go back to know your origin story for Kappa Sig. But what I do want to talk about is the origin story of Team Domination.
Oh yeah,
What does Team Domination mean to you? We'll start
means
with that.
everything. It's a mantra. It's my mantra in life since 2007. Pretty sure
Yeah.
it's 2007. 19 years of domination, and probably like exactly 19 years ago.
Mm.
And I remember where we were and how it came about. Um, I remember when I even first met you, uh, in the liquid cellar as we were doing this fraternity. I don't even know if we were in the fraternity or like, whatever the process was, but went to liquid cellar. I think randomly got to the, same beer pong table and then just dominated. And that
And we dominated.
started very organically, and you and I melded real quickly, our personalities and everything. And, we're both chilling, looking to have fun and, do the fraternity life. And it started at Liquid Cellar, started crushing it. And then I think at just other parties and social functions and stuff, it continued. And then I remember at one particular point in someone's apartment, not mine, but we had been on a particularly strong beer pong run. And I think I was like, we're fucking Team Domination, dude.
We are Team Domination, baby. It's I think it's a lost art. I don't think the kids these days play as much beer pong as we did back then, but I remember any party you went to, there was always somebody looking to play beer pong. Nick, did you play a lot of beer pong
Oh,
back in your day?
oh, yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. Beer pong was definitely a staple at every and all parties, and the way and to see the evolution of beer pong to where it's probably non-existent now just because of germs and everything else, like, it started with beer actually in
Very
the
true.
cups, and then that started
Very
to go away
true.
to water into the cups, and then it was, you had to have a water cup, and then the beer stopped getting poured in the cups, and you were just drinking your own beer,
Drinking
and
your own
like,
beer.
satellite cups didn't exist anymore, so
Oh my
oh,
god.
yeah, no, I was, yeah, absolute pro at beer pong at one point, an absolute
It's
pro.
definitely not a sanitary game, and I'm 100% sure
Mm.
that when C-Rod and I were dominating and Liquid Cellar, that ball was on the floor and going into beer that we
Good.
were fucking taking
Oh,
down,
like,
and that's what I'm saying. At
So
yeah.
stale
oof,
too, the beer would get
Did
so
uh,
did
stale,
you did you ever visit Liquid Cellar across the street from UCF, Nick?
n no,
Okay.
probably not.
Well, Liquid Cellar,
Knight's
and with
Library for sure, and,
yep,
yeah,
same
I don't think
plaza,
we'll ever
same plaza.
yeah, but I
Yeah.
know I know maybe then, but I'm no Knight's Library, but then that was, 20 years ago.
No, right.
So
Well, we had Gore and we had Gabon who were both Liquid Cellar employees, and we've talked about it, but it was the smallest, dirtiest, darkest, dingiest dive bar you could think of. Uh, Stickiest
but it was
floors. They
home.
were barely
But it
cleaned.
was
It
home.
was home, but it was also probably the reason why our immune systems are so good.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
because
Yeah,
man,
absolutely.
I
Ha
forgot
has to be.
that they don't play with beer anymore with beer pong.
They
I
don't
remember the
do
first
if
time.
they even play anymore, dude, kids aren't drinking. No,
No,
alcohol sales in general are down. Like,
they
it's
also don't drink beer either, so they don't play a lot of
they
liquor
don't
pong
drink
because they can't drink
anything.
liquor.
It's
Yeah.
just nothing.
that's good though. These kids are kind of smart now, so overall it's probably good. But
Well,
yes, it definitely boosted our immune system. So,
it had
but
to
I
have.
wouldn't
It
do that
had to
now.
have.
I would never do that now. But as a from 18 through 22,
Last
no,
weekend, he's throwing beer pong.
I'll
He's just trying to
I'll still play. But
Yeah.
I would promulgate for the the
Dude,
revised version.
now they play on fire and this and that and this
Oh, so
rule
many
and
dumb rules.
yeah,
Did
and
you ever hit
I'm
a
just
satellite cup when someone was, like, not finished drinking
like
it
when they
and ended the
dude,
game? Yeah.
I say this to you without being the most egotistical person in the room, but Craig and I could make any shot. We could beat any team.
Any
We would
Oh
go
god.
to any party and fuck up any fraternity, any sorority. We would win a minimum of 10 games a night.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
I'm not, well, there will be validation by somebody who listens to this episode, and you're like, you're right. C-Rod and Craig were the most dynamic duo, the
Dominant
most
team
dominant
domination.
duo of UCF from the era of 2007 to 2010, because I think he left a little bit earlier than I did.
Yeah.
And then I had no partner. I had nobody.
All
Here's
alone. You were all alone.
my
You had
favorite story
nobody.
was Craig's birthday. Your 21st birthday
21. Yep.
at your house?
Oh,
Somebody's
at my
house.
house. Definitely at my house. That was
Okay.
my house party.
Yeah.
With Josh
Craig and I
and Bobby.
So Craig's house party. and here's the thing. Like, you think, like, in today's world, if it's your party, you're going to want to be socializing, mingling, right? Being around the house. Craig wanted to play beer pong. He wanted to stand at that table and play beer pong. And we
Team
won so
domination.
many games in a row. We started blacking out. Craig, eyes barely open, nonverbal at some point. And the way that we kept track was taking a magic marker. And I said, Craig, every time we win a game, we're going to put a check mark on your arm. And I don't remember the number, Craig. I don't know if you did, but I remember him
At least
calling
21.
me or texting me the next day. Yeah, I was going to say like 16
Oh no,
in a row.
No.
More than that.
I my goal was to get to 21 for my 21st birthday, and I had at least 21 marks on my arm.
I love it. I love
Jesus
it.
Christ. Was
I
it 6 cup or 10
absolutely
cup?
love it. 10 cup.
Fine.
I'm just
We didn't
hey,
six cup.
I had to ask,
We
dude. I just
played
had to
real
ask.
pong back then. We had nothing better to do. We
We
didn't
played real
smoke
pong
ketamine
back
or whatever the
then.
fuck these kids are doing these days.
Bath salts and ketamine.
Craig, your life has
Special
evolved.
K.
Your life is
Is
your
that how
life
you
has
do it?
evolved so much since then. Do
I have no
you?
idea. Is that how the lawyer's asking us?
Oh my god. Craig, your life has evolved so much. Do you ever I know that you don't have a lot of social media, right? So do you ever either look back on Facebook for the few videos or pics that we do have and just think about that version of yourself? Do you ever miss just that freedom of who you were back then compared to now?
Well, of course. The freedom,
Listen,
yeah, it's
some people say no. Some people are like, "Hey, I matured and I grew up." But you know, Nick and I talked about this a little bit last week.
yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like there's a fleeting, you know, moment there where,
Oh,
you know, life was different. Not
oh,
and not in a bad way.
100%. I wouldn't
Yeah.
like trade it. You know, it's all of the moments in my life have brought me to where I am now. So I wouldn't, trade my spot now. But when I look back on it and say, damn, would I rather be on spring break in the Bahamas with no
Yeah.
cares or working now? Yeah, I would
Yep.
think, hey, that sounds pretty fun. But I'm grateful for where I am and where everything has, brought me to thus far.
Yeah. No, I love it. Right in this moment is usually when I ask Nick his thoughts on this topic, but he doesn't do spring break. He doesn't do beer pong. We're gonna move
No.
on. You know.
I mean, I do beer pong, but there's no point. Spring break, blacking out. Can't relate. Sorry,
like
guys.
like the
I
old
don't.
Grinch over
Black.
here said last week, that phase of life eventually ends, right? Uh,
I
we life
hope.
starts asking more of us. You, like I mentioned, you have two beautiful daughters, but you also went into law. And where I kind of want to pivot next is, you know, we have had a director on, we have a director, producer, actor, we have had a nurse on, we have had a mental health counselor on, we have had a lawyer on, but never a personal lawyer, personal injury lawyer, and also we didn't really get into law too much. So I'm excited to talk to you a little bit about the mental weight of law. Right, I think this part of the show, I want to talk about just the unseen emotional weight that revolves around you. And I don't know if you're seeing other people in their worst moments, but talk to me about personal injury law and I guess how that came about, and we can start from there.
Yeah, I am a proud personal injury attorney. 1-800-HURT-123. Attorney Big Al and I are representing, people in car accidents, slip and falls. Um, it was a long path to bring me to where I was. I was always on the other side, and um, being on this side, look, I since you know, I've always been in the personal injury, field, mostly in law. So um, I definitely look at things differently. If there's something spilled in a Costco, I'm trying to flag someone down, and you know, uh, the world's a dangerous
You don't want
place.
to be sued for
You
that.
don't want to be, and you don't want people to get hurt. The world's a dangerous place. Car accidents. I'm grateful every day driving, to and from work just to make it safe. The highway. A lot of people, unfortunately, um, you know, are not good drivers, and there's
Mm,
negligence and there's dangerous things. So on this side, that's where we're focused on.
So you defend people that get into accidents. Is there an emotional toll that it takes on you to basically live inside other people's trauma? I'm sure, well, I guess I'm not sure, but have you been a part of, I guess, some bad cases where people were truly, really injured and it was a fight to go after? What was
All
that
the
emotional
time,
toll for you? And
all the time. I think about the cases and the people all the time, and it gets a bad rep. You know, plaintiff personal injury law, and um, you know, there's a lot of factors that brought it to that point. But the truth is, um, more often, or I would say, almost all the time, that there's something legitimate, and we would certainly only represent someone that's in a legitimate uh,
Mhm.
claim or accident. But bad things happen. People can get hurt, and it not being their fault, and it can affect them, on all sorts of aspects of life, and finances, physical health, mental health. It's all related. And I think about I'm even if I'm on vacation, I'm always thinking about the cases and people and how to do better, and things I have to do.
Yeah, yeah. You you said that it's changed your worldview, right? You're a little bit more cautious. You think about things a little bit more. You try and help people before they get injured. Is the bad stigma about people trying to scam the system, right? Trying to say, "Oh, I slipped and fell," or "Hot coffee fell on me. Let me sue McDonald's." Is that the stigma that you're talking about when you refer to the bad stigma of a plaintiff
Yeah, there
lawyer?
there's there unfortunately there's bad, um you know it, it's definitely got a bad stigma to it. And you know
Yeah, I don't want they call like ambulance
oh
chasers,
yeah.
like, that's, like, the stigma, like, that they only get paid, they're going after they go to hospitals for people that got hurt and try to get clients, and that's the only way they get paid. But it's like, no, but most of the time these people need representation. They're going up against uh insurance companies with teams of lawyers, and most of the time don't know no better, and they get a fraction of what they could get, and they're like, oh, this is great, and they'll sign it,
Yep.
and it's like, what are you doing? Like, you could have got, they'll come at you with 100,000. You're like, you could have got 10 times that. Easily, if that's what they're offering you right off the bat. But most people in those situations don't know to do that, and that's why Craig is important.
Yes, thank you. But it is, it's bad. I've seen it from both sides. For most of my uh legal career, I was on the defense side, so I've always looked at things different. And part of my job is being able to vet if it's a real, if it's a real case or not. And a lot of times, someone gets hurt, and not every time that someone gets hurt, it's someone else's fault, or at least legally
Right.
someone else's
It
fault.
it could just be an accident.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but it's tough. It's always emotional. My days never stop, and I'm okay with that. Um, but emotionally, and how I look at things, and maybe I'm a little more precautious now. Well, definitely compared to spring break times. But uh, yeah, I'm always looking, and driving especially. Also, I remember my dad, when I first started driving out, was giving lessons, and it was like, be a defensive driver, and always assume someone's going to do the wrong thing. Someone's going to turn or not stop. So I've carried that over, and trying to impart that on my wife, and even kids now also a little bit. But
Mhm.
Yeah. No, I love that. I try to instill a lot on my wife. Well, she's not my wife, but she doesn't listen.
Jesus Christ, Craig. She doesn't listen. Oh gosh.
Nick, give me, any questions on personal injury law, before we kind of get ready to pivot here for the next.
Do you ever find, like, I know you say you think about, like, some cases often. Do you ever find it, like, taxing to where you have to take a break or take time for yourself to just get centered again because of what you're dealing with? I mean, obviously you don't have to go specifics, but
Yeah. The the truth is, for a while, it's I'm always in my head. I'm always thinking about stuff. I don't think pretty much since pretty much since spring break 2010, I have
Jesus.
never been able to like fully relax and just not think about anything. Um,
Yeah.
but actually, I'm actually going to on a little vacation this weekend on Friday with my family, and uh,
Hell
looking
yeah.
forward to that. Because it's been a while since I've had a vacation like that. But
Yeah.
even then, I'll still be thinking about stuff. But ultimately, you just
Are you ever able to separate yourself from work?
no, no,
Mm,
not fully. No.
mm,
Okay, how about this?
that's a lot.
When your career is so intertwined with helping people at their lowest, how do you make sure to pull yourself out to stay grounded, to not, get into that I guess I don't want to call it depression mode, but just, you're dealing with a lot of trauma, a lot of, probably dark situations. What do you do to stay back?
Uh, just try to be grateful and really think about what life is about, and live in the moment. Everything.
Hmm.
You know, talk about change. Everything really changed when I had my kids, and
Thank God you did not say 2010 spring break right
no,
there.
well,
Everything
everything definitely
changed.
changed
Kids.
after that.
Thank God. He's already said it like 4 times. He
everything
said his
everything definitely
kids.
He's the
changed.
king of the throwback, dude. The
Thank God.
callbacks, dude. The king of the callback.
Everything definitely changed after I graduated college. uh, but ever since I had kids, and they were, everyone's like, "Oh, it goes fast," and
It definitely helped, but yeah, I could definitely see how it helps to stay grounded though. Like the kids could definitely get your
Yeah.
mind off stuff.
yeah, it's you know, things go fast, and trying to live in the moment and be grateful, and I guess I've always had kind of a voice in the back of my head keeping me grounded, and there's a lot of bad things in the in the world, and ultimately you
It's
can
not
go
funny.
mental if you really start thinking about. And I think maybe a couple times in my college life, I got to some deep thinking about life and whatnot, but um, just what are we doing here, and trying to be as grounded as you
Yeah.
can in a world of chaos.
So you
Mm.
said so you used to be on the other side of it. What, I guess what made you make that switch, or was it just that was the entry point because typically those bigger firms are the ones who are looking for those lawyers, and I guess it's the easiest route to go after college. Talk to me about that jump.
Wow, that was a jump of necessity, honestly. So when I went to law school, and I was living in my parents' house, so I took the bar, I passed the bar, and then I had to get a job, and I had a girlfriend, and I want to move out of my parents' house.
Yep.
I was like 20, whatever, 24, 25, and basically took the first legal job that I got, the first interview I had that offered me a job, and that was a defense job, and that involved mostly car accidents, and so I was defending a big insurance company, just
Mm.
Yep.
just working, just. And then I moved out of my parents' house right away and moved in with my girlfriend, now my wife, and uh, had a few jobs before this one, but then this goes back to when I was on Family Feud, and the day that I got to Atlanta where we were filming, I found out that uh, I worked with a smaller firm, younger firm, and one big client, and that client ended up going bankrupt, so they couldn't pay their
Mm,
bills anymore. So the firm I was at laid off everybody, and I was part of that. So I needed to get a job, and that night in Atlanta, was applying to different firms, and I always,
mm,
the corporate, you know, again, there's so much the corporate world and being on that side and just feeling like a hamster on a never ending
mm.
wheel. I always,
Yep.
prefer to be on the other side anyway. But on
Helping people at the end of the day.
Yeah, I was gonna say this side's helping, right? Like
yes,
you're not for lack of a better term, screwing people over, like, because that's what I'm not that you're doing everything you're doing your job, right? And if you're doing your job well, you're not paying people out that might have gotten hurt. And like I can't imagine how like taxing that could be on somebody, especially like you, because
Yeah.
you're you're one of the
He's
nicest dudes
unbothered.
ever. So
He's unbothered.
but yeah, so you say
no,
like that you can't be unbothered by
no, I'm
that.
bothered.
Like
I was
that
definitely bothered.
yeah, I was gonna say that'd be
But
bothersome.
it's
So
it's
so
more
bothersome.
rewarding working with real people and honestly helping people and it took me over an hour to work
Yep.
my Instagram, but I did post on my professional Instagram. I think it's Craig underscore
He
Hurt
did.
one two
He
three,
did post. Yeah, I don't
and
know, you didn't put it in the paper, so I gotta find you later to
yeah,
post it.
so I was able to post,
Craig
and then that was
underscore
with a
hurt.
real person that was really got hurt and had a rough time, and we got a good result for that.
Because if you didn't get hurt and get paid, you're not a real person. Craig Shanley.
Objection.
I'm
Yeah, I was like, that's not a
hearsay,
good
hearsay.
endorsement.
No, I love it, and I truly I know that we've said this before when we've had guests on like yourself, but if you're listening and your job requires emotional strength, when was the last time that you checked whether you were actually being supported or not? And I want to talk about, I want to talk to those people. Like, I hope people hear this and want to come on and talk about their job, because so many times when you're dealing with that emotional toll every day, a lot of these people don't have support systems, or they have to hold it to themselves. And I want people to think about, when was the last time you checked on yourself instead of checking on your clients, right? Or checking on your patients. Because at the end of the day, also you are a person that has to be accounted for. Any last words for law, legal, kind of before we move on, Craig?
Yep. Not illegal. Well, if you or a loved one are hurt by someone else's negligence and you need any kind of help or even in any other law, you can always reach me 1-800-HURT-123. I happy to provide my personal cell phone also, and
Not right here. Not right
I
now.
Are
whatever
you
anyone
in
needs.
any? Are you able to do law outside of Florida? Did you pass any other bars or just Florida's?
I'm only barred in Florida.
What a
Okay.
dummy. What a dummy.
What a dumb.
I think there's some
So
reciprocity in like Washington D.C.
I'm
also, but
sure. I'm sure there is. Yeah.
I,
Fucking
I want
Chris.
to I want to go back again, right? Because even with all the
uh,
responsibility you have now, I think there's always a side of you that has always wanted to compete, right? You were always an athlete. We talked a lot of basketball, watched a lot of basketball, played a lot of basketball. Intramural sports was always fun. But one of my favorite memories, and I think while we're talking about this, right, and as we get older, I want people to think that this part of you should never disappear. As we get older, as priorities and responsibilities change, we always have this core thing about us. And one thing for me is I love playing video games. I still do to this day. I still play sports games, but Craig used to come over to my apartment, or I would go over his apartment, and we would spend 8 to 10 hours just like sitting on the couch playing NBA 2K. We constantly,
uh.
you want to play 2K? Absolutely. You want to play 2K? Yeah, just come over, dude. And we would be inseparable playing 2K. And it really sucks now because Craig doesn't play video games anymore. But Do you
Oh,
remember
no.
our 2K marathons, Craig? And what did that mean
Yeah,
to you just kind of in that moment?
of course. Well, I never had my own system, so I would always, if I got the hankering to play some uh, video games or something, my man, it was fun to go over to your spot and play. Um, yeah, definitely competition, and you play to win the game, and that whether it's video games or beer pong or any kind of sport, and again, I'm trying to impart that on my kids. You want to win, but if you lose, losing's okay. Learn some lessons, get better, but ultimately, yeah, it's better to win than
Do
lose.
you do you let your kids win, or do you beat them and say, "Get better," so that way when you beat dad, it feels good?
It depends. I definitely let them win a lot, but if depending on what the situation is, if I gotta take it and show who's boss, I'll do that also.
Yeah. Nick, did you what about you? When Sam was little, did
Oh,
you let her win, or
I
did you
no, it was never hold I didn't hold back.
Yeah.
That no, it's competitive, very
Yeah.
competitive.
Listen, I'm the same way. I am the same way. I will beat my kids into the ground and at not at games and competitions, not with my fists. And I'll just be like, look, oh, what I should have won. Well, next time try and win because I
Try
remember when
harder.
Kinsley beat me for the first time in something, she was so happy, pointing her fingers, laughing. Oh, I beat you. I'm like, yeah, you did. Good job. Like,
As you should.
yeah,
Nice.
it only
Give
took
it
you
to
eight
me. Like,
years.
yeah, come on.
where
Yeah,
where was
no.
this 6 years ago when you were two? You know what I'm saying? No, like but like even Callie and I, so when we were just on our trip, we love bowling, and Callie and I were
Mm,
able to put the kids away and go bowling on our own, and we played 4 games, and we're just so competitive. I don't let her win. She's my girl. I love her to death, but
mm.
I dominated her. I won 3 out of 4 games. But she gets me too. We had this running tally at a bowling alley next to us where we had a summer pass and we had a running tally all summer, and she ended up beating me, but the same way with darts. And I treat her the same way I treat my kids, but to me, I would rather win than be nice. Is that the wrong thing to do, are you guys in agreement?
There's no right or wrong. It's up to you.
Goddamn lawyer
Never
answer.
hold back.
Never hold back. There
It's
you
I
just
go.
think
like you can't
sometimes I try to hold back with the kids. Ultimately, especially well, for with the girls, I'm trying to instill some confidence. So
Yeah.
I'll let them win a pretty princess, or I'll notch the piece an extra thing if they're not paying attention, just to boost them up. But if
Craig's over there with earrings on, and because I have the game too. Craig's over there with earring on and a crown. He's
uh-huh.
like, "Oh, I'm about to win. Let me just
I,
push this over a little
I,
bit." And he gets the crown where you lose something. I know how it is.
I've never played that game. I have no idea what you're talking about.
You spin the wheel and it lands on, like, there's earrings and a necklace and a
Oh, it's
ring, and
like dress
whoever,
up or something?
but it's you spin the wheel. It's like kind of like Twister, where whatever it lands on, you got to wear, and whoever gets to dress up is the pretty
Mm.
pretty princess.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I would've dressed up. I
Yeah.
would've rocked it all, but my
So you
daughter's
said,
almost 17, you know, so
hey, even better. She can use real makeup and stuff now.
Yeah, trust.
Craig, you mentioned that you came to me because you didn't have a console, right? Now that you're older, now that you have money, now that you have kids,
Now
do
that
you
you have
still
money.
do you still not have a console?
don't no,
Why?
mostly time. I think the last one I bought for my friend, like at least 10 years ago. I bought his PlayStation 3 for like $100, and then I started buying some sports games like 2K and stuff. And there's times I was mostly just playing 2K, but
Just
um,
by yourself?
it's been a while since I've dusted it off though.
Yeah.
But I do think about it, and I said maybe I'd buy something if my kids would also play, but realistically, you know, to fit
Yeah.
it in to really get
Do the
down
girls watch
something.
basketball with you or no?
Yeah,
Do they
they'll
have any
watch.
love for
That's
basketball?
yeah. If there's something on, I'll keep it on. They know football Sundays, and if there's basketball going on, I'll throw that on.
So I have a deep question for you because I know that this happened to you personally, but you still play basketball, right? To this day, you play in a basketball league, and recently, you tore your ACL playing pickup basketball. Mentally, what was that like? Getting injured this late in life, doing something that you love, still being in shape. What's the toll that takes on you? An injury this late?
That sucked. I that's the I think I've gotten hurt, but not this hurt, and when it happened, I was jumping up for a rebound and got knocked out of the air and just crashed down and felt my knee buckle under me and just crashed down. I wasn't jumping that high, but I just remember crashing down so fast and just being like, "What the fuck?" And like knowing like my body was hurting me, where was it coming from, and kind of writhing around because just a lot of things hurt, and then um, yeah, knowing in the back of my head something bad happened. I've gotten hurt before, but not this bad. And the worst part was going home. I was able to walk back and after a little bit and
Mm.
drive home because it was in my neighborhood. And I knew the worst part was just going to see my wife and hanging my head down
Telling
and
your
saying
wife.
I got hurt because the directive is always be
My
careful.
knee exploded.
Something.
Because she says to you every day before you leave, "Don't hurt yourself, honey."
Sorry. Yeah. So and I didn't know the extent, but I knew it was
Uh,
hurt. And then I had the MRI the next day, and they said full tear. If you want
mm,
to get back, get surgery. So yes, mentally that was really is tough because even I wasn't going to the gym, and this was I was playing on Sunday mornings with a group of guys in the neighborhood, and good just to socialize and physically, and I was just going once a week for couple hours on Sunday. It was, part of the routine. So, yeah, when
well,
it first happened, I was just kept, I can't believe this happened. This sucks. Why me? And then,
any a-
ultimately, reverting back to, all right, things happen for a reason, and I got to get through this, and it is what it is. So,
yeah.
got the surgery and
Any
moving
plans to get back on the court once you're recovered,
100%,
or is this it? Yeah.
100%. That's yeah. I'll probably play
Ha-
differently. And I was never, especially in my older days, not playing like I was playing when I was 18. But even now, I think I'll
Yeah.
change it up.
If I recall, you like to
w-
drive a lot. You were good with the hands, the
That's see that
layups, right?
changed. Yeah, I mean, I can I could still do that, but as my game evolved, I was stepping back a little bit. But yeah, I don't know.
A little
I
Steph
definitely
Curry
want to get
action.
back and you know,
What's the recovery time
so I
for an
can yeah I
ACL these
can
days?
extension and flexion, and to be doing lateral movement, it's around 8 months or so. So I'm targeting July, August back on the court.
Back on the
Nice
court. We'll
heat
make
of
sure to make a
the
post.
start of the hottest time
That's
of the
right.
year,
Summer
right?
26.
Hey,
Summer 2026.
he uses it to
Chandler
stay in shape.
come
Nothing better
back.
than sweating in the 102-degree Florida weather.
I'd rather it be hot than
So
cold.
let's
I feel that.
what? Wait,
Yep.
why?
Um,
I
I
mean, I don't. I mean, I'd rather be cold, but
I
yeah.
would dude, think about it like this. You could be butt ass naked and still be hot. But if you're cold, you could just bundle up.
I don't
Like
want to
I've
bundle up.
never understood why people would rather be hot than cold.
I don't want to bundle up and have my nose running and my eyes watering. I want that.
God, my Jesus
Bring the
Christ.
heat, bro.
That's fair. That's
All
fair.
right. So we go from sports and video games to I want to touch on, fantasy sports and not necessarily you playing and you winning all these championships, right? And you being a very dominant manager in all of our leagues. But I want to touch on your shirts, right? Like we talked about at the top of the episode, your personas, right? Stone Cold, Macho Man, Team Domination in another league. But why 1990s wrestling? Why does that mean so much to you? And why does it mean so much enough to carry it on? And to the point where, like, there's points, if you're listening, where Craig will be in group text and never say a word, but he will just use a GIF of the same person. If it's in his Stone Cold league, it'll only be GIFs of Stone Cold. If it's in his Macho Man league, it will only be GIFs of Macho Man. And again, he will not say a single word. He will just send GIFs that match the situation perfectly. Where did that evolve from, Craig?
I don't know. I definitely the 90s wrestling, holds a special part, as a major thing of me growing up. I'd say, from when I was like, 5 or 6 years old up till I was probably like 12. So whatever those years were, 90s up until the early 2000s.
7 years. Oh.
And that was also, talk about freedom and spring break. What's more free than being a kid and watching wrestling and Hulk Hogan and Macho Man and Stone Cold coming through, and it's I guess reminds me of a good time, fun time, and I haven't watched wrestling in a long time, but I guess with the fantasy, that's the same thing that it brings to me. It's fantasy wrestling, and it's all about fun and winning and competition, and it popped in there.
When you do talk, you talk in the third person. Does that also come from wrestling? Is that just from
I'm
wrestling?
talking on behalf of the team, the Macho Men.
Okay. He's talking.
Now
you
are only 1 year older than me. Macho Man Randy Savage was very prominent when we were younger. Do you truly remember, the young Macho Man Randy Savage? Like, do you have memories of him and Hulk Hogan tagging, or is it more of that Attitude Era remembrance, Stone Cold? Where's the differentiator there?
It was both. Because I remember, having, when I was living in New York and going to my older cousin's house and watching WrestleMania, not exact memories of matches like that, but I had the Macho Man wrestling buddy and the Hulk Hogan wrestling buddy. So, that I feel like that was part of a prominent point in my growing up.
Who do you like more, Stone Cold or Macho Man?
Stone Cold.
Do you think you'll ever change your team name from Stone Cold or Macho Man? And what if you did? Would it be another wrestler?
I would not change those. No, those
you'll never change.
All of my franchises now are set in Stone Cold.
Are locked in.
So if this league goes until we're 80 years old, you're going to be
100%.
The Macho Man and Stone Cold for 60 years.
They're the Yankees. They're the Red Sox. This is their franchise.
Well,
I mean, the Ultimate Warriors are 2-time champions. That's all.
Great team. That's a great franchise also.
La Flama Blanca leaves a little left to be desired.
About that team. That might be time for a name change. You might want to change that name.
I was thinking about it. I've been thinking about it, actually.
316 was just the other day. Did you celebrate, Craig?
Not specifically.
You didn't even give one hell yeah?
I think I sent a text message with Stone Cold in my Stone Cold chat.
He did send. He did.
No, that was Monday. Monday's rough. Not.
What's your favorite Stone Cold moment?
I think when I remember him driving the Zamboni and spraying the beer like fire hose. I was what is going on?
Yep, he's had the beer truck, he's had the milk truck. I mean, I'll never forget the supermarket fight with Booker T.
Booker T. What about the him being the nurse?
When he goes
the shit out of Vince McMahon.
Yeah, with the bedpan. Yeah.
The fucking bedpan.
Fucking iconic. Sadly, he did post or did talk about it. He has a podcast, but he did talk about how he's moved on from the Stone Cold persona. But I guess he's 61 and that had to happen at some point, right?
Yeah.
Steve Austin said that?
I think
Steve Austin said that he's moved on from the Stone Cold persona.
Of Stone Cold has been dead for quite a while, man. he hasn't been flicking off Vince McMahon in 20 years, dude.
Are there I guess, Craig, the last question I have for this thought process is, as you get older and the life takes your physical edge away, what part of like your sports identity are you going to try the hardest to keep as you do get older when maybe you can't play pickup basketball anymore? Is it just finding maybe something that your girls will compete in that you can be competitive in, or have you thought about that?
I have not thought about that. I still feel like I'm not in my prime, but I got some useful years. But I'll definitely be playing basketball. When I before COVID, I was playing in a Sunday league, and one of these guys was like 85 years old, 80 years old, Dave.
Wow.
And I was like, damn,
Just ball
you
Dave's
play
just
as like
balling
an
on you, huh?
80,
Draining
you're
threes.
you play differently as an 80-year-old, but I was like, yeah, that's cool. So um,
I
Post
mean,
up
that's
in the
pretty cool.
3.
That's pretty
yeah,
cool.
and you let him shoot or do whatever, but it was still good. It made everyone feel good to have him out there, and
Yeah.
I want my kids
Yeah.
to do that. And I told them, I coach them in basketball. So far, nobody has jumped at the offer yet. So my older one's playing flag football, and my little one played soccer. And I'm definitely encouraging them to get into more sports than dance or hopefully not cheerleading, but we
Gymnastics,
want to do
gymnastics.
play
Hopefully
sports.
not.
Yeah.
Cheerleading is a sport.
I can see Craig with pom poms,
Yeah,
because he's that kind of dad. If his girls went to cheerleading, he would be cheering with them because he's that
yeah,
kind of dad.
yeah.
Any other questions, Nick, on basketball or anything before we get to the
Um,
biggest
I
segment
mean,
of the episode?
I did have a question, back or I guess with your ACL injury. What is the hardest part, or I guess rephrase the question, is it more frustrating? What's the most frustrating part? The mental or the physical part of it?
Initially, the mental part. I was just like, I can't believe this happened, and knowing that this is gonna be a long process. I'm not gonna be able to play basketball
Uh,
for a while now, and I wasn't going to the gym for a while, and that mentally also was not fun.
mhm,
Um,
right.
so it's definitely mental. But then once I had the surgery and those first couple weeks afterwards were physically that sucked. I needed help. My wife helped me out dressing and
Mm,
showering, and that was really rough also physically and mentally. But eventually I turned a corner, and now it's just physically trying to get back. So mentally I'm
mm.
secure in that.
Good, good.
Mentally,
What
I'm
did you
secure.
do with for me, like, the gym's a big part of how I stay, like, grounded. What did you do for yourself in the times that or the time that you couldn't, go to the gym?
uh, Nothing, man.
No. Nah.
I
Hey, I mean, that happens too. I'm just
Yeah, I
curious.
think also just you know trying to remain mentally resilient and looking forward to the next phase.
Yeah, yeah. I miss playing basketball so much. One of the hardest things to do after college, I remember moving to Tampa, and I even like created a Facebook group. Who wants to go out and play basketball? And it would be so hard to find people to play. I wish I could play, but there's nobody who goes out and just plays pickup basketball anymore that I know of. They're either too busy or too lazy. So
Yeah.
you and Dave, 80-year-old Dave, getting after it. I love that.
Yeah.
I
The
love that.
uh,
All right. Then before we wrap this up, there's one more moment that we have to talk about, right? You mentioned it at the top of the episode. Your most interesting moment, and you've said it twice now, was being on Family Feud. I want to start with how you got there.
that
How did you get on
that
Family
was all
Feud?
my sister's plan. That happened. Now I guess it was after COVID, a couple months after COVID. I didn't even know she like applied to get on Family Feud, but she applied. A year something went by, and then randomly she's like, "Hey, we got an audition for Family Feud. My parents, my sister, me, and then my uncle." And I was still
Mm.
during pretty much
Saul,
Saul.
Uncle Saul.
Saul, that's right. Call, bro. Uncle Saul, what's up, bro? I know he's listening.
Did
Mm.
did did you watch Family Feud before you got the interview?
Um, when we knew we had the interview, yeah, but like as a family tradition or anything, Family Feud was not part
Or
of
just
our.
even you,
No,
just
no,
you, I
not
mean,
not
no?
really, no, not at all. uh,
What's the audition like? Do
so
you
it
have to,
was
like,
it
go
was
there
on
and answer
it was
questions?
with the quarantine. We're a little bit after that, but still things were slow picking up slowly. So we went to my parents' house and we did like a Zoom call, and remember we had to like present ourselves, introduce ourselves. They asked some sample questions.
Mm.
I don't know. The whole thing was like half an hour, maybe a little longer, and then they were like, "All right, we'll get back to you." And then like another year after that or something, then my sister was like, text us and she's like, "Yo, we got a Family Feud. We're gonna supposed to fly to Atlanta, whatever day." So it was like really something I, never thought would happen,
See,
and it, you know, never thought we'd be on. But
That's
yeah, then
yeah.
we went to
Okay.
Atlanta.
So you do the audition process. It takes some time. You mentioned you go to Atlanta. Uh, were there any behind the scenes surprises? Whether it was like, did you have to fly up early? Did you get to meet Steve Harvey before?
Ooh,
Did they prep you before? What was that
Steve
like?
Harvey is the man, and he runs a tight ship. You are not meeting Steve Harvey before that show, but um, it was a great experience because before first we didn't even know if, even when we got on there, they're like, not every family's going to be on because they brought up I don't know 8 families or something, so a lot of things had to work
Mm.
out, but we ended up being the last family on of filming that night. So we watched, I think it was like 4 or 5 episodes being taped before we eventually
Oh,
went on that night. And Steve
wow.
Harvey, the entire thing behind the scenes, was basically like a stand-up comedian. It was amazing. It was like a small show because the audience, it's not a huge spot, but a lot of times they cut that show so much, like each episode on TV is like half an hour, so with commercials it's probably like 20 minutes, but in reality like it lasts like a full hour. And they cut
Really?
out so much. Steve Harvey, like if you say like a funny answer, Steve will sometimes go off and you know
Mm.
for a while, and
Run like a bit about
oh
it?
yeah, and just go off
Yeah.
script, and then they're like, if he walks past the certain line, that means the camera's off. So sometimes he would do that and would just go
Oh,
really off script. So it was really like a comedy show, and yeah, it was a great
yeah.
and wild experience.
So you didn't get to meet him until you were on stage,
Right.
and he's like, "Let's go meet the Chandler
Yep.
family."
Yeah. Exactly.
Wow. I have so many questions.
And that was
Anything?
the day before that I was let go. So I was also unemployed on that stage, and I was just thinking like,
Yeah.
I need a
this
job.
is
This is
crazy.
crazy.
What was there anything that wasn't great about it?
um no, it was just a long time. We were in that audience, but
Yeah.
it was a good experience. And I don't like
Just a
being
long day.
contained. And like you're saying, can you disassociate from work? And it's like I can't just be you know
Yeah.
relaxed or sitting down. But that was great. But I definitely felt like they took your phones also, so I felt like I was
Oh, so
yeah,
you sat there all day with
right,
no
yeah.
phone. Wow. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I could see that. But you got laid off, so
sucks.
what were you checking? You know what I'm
I
saying?
was trying to
Oh,
apply
the
for some jobs.
interviews. He was trying to get. He was trying to get
I gotta
jobs,
get
man.
LinkedIn.
Okay, so I watched just recently. I did watch. I went back and watched your episode. I fell asleep. I won't get there yet. So I watched your
I watched it
both of
without
us.
falling asleep.
No, well, I was gonna say something else, but I won't say it. But we both watched your episode, right? And when you came on, the family that you were up against, they were the 2-time winning family. Did you watch them win before you went up? Like, was that all the same taping?
Yeah. So yeah, we knew.
Oh, that's got to be intimidating.
Not for us. I was ready to go.
not for
us.
Team Domination.
Yeah, once literally. So once we knew we were going on, they brought us to the backstage and they're like putting on like makeup on you, and then you were just like, holy shit, like
mic'd up.
You literally we didn't know that we were going to be on to play on TV until very shortly before.
Right
it happened.
before.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
So could you have been there and not gone on at all?
Yep.
And then what? You just go home?
Yeah, pretty much. Maybe they'll call you back for another time or something. But yeah, that happened.
So you were last in your family lineup. Why were you last? Was that decided by your sister, or was that decided by the show? How do they decide the order?
That was decided by us as a team. And I think, I got that last spot as, just a family vote. Not a lot of people wanted. Most people didn't. I don't know if anyone actually wants to be the anchor.
Baby.
I think that's what it came down to. Nobody wants to anchor it. So I said, I'll do it.
Craig's like, if this was Flip Cup, I'd be the anchor all day, baby.
I got you.
Put it away.
I got you. The first question was wild.
The whole thing was wild.
So in the first round, you got all 8 answers correct, right? It was something special you might buy for a night of
lovemaking. Yeah, I was like, I
was cackling because his mother is next to him. His mother's 4th, so his dad's 3rd, his mother's 4th, he's 5th. What was it like having to say body oil, right? The light of lovemaking, body oil, right next to your mom, saying that, and then giving her a fist bump, oh, good answer.
I wasn't thinking about my mom. I was thinking about my kids more than my mom. So I blocked that out.
That's a little weird.
Well, I you need to be conscious of.
You mean the way you make
what they're
kids.
going to? No, I mean what they're going to see and
what they're going to see,
and the audience also. But it is hard because it was that last spot, especially in that first round. I'm constantly thinking of like. If someone says something, I got to knock that out and come up with something. So
you're thinking of real PG answers.
Exactly.
Okay. More importantly, hearing your mother say lingerie right before you.
Blocked it out. Didn't even think about it.
No,
blocked it out. Didn't even hear it.
Nope. Okay. Here's the other hilarious part about this episode, right? It's the last round. You get to choose professional. So it's a takeaway. The other family got them all wrong. They get one chance to steal, and your family chooses professional porn star as the answer. I don't remember what the question was.
I remember the question.
Are the Shandlers a promiscuous bunch?
No.
Does it run in the family?
We all thought that was a slam dunk. The question was something like, what's a career that any man would want, or something like that.
You're right. It was like famous actor. They were saying famous sub, and you guys said professional porn star.
And we all, so you huddle up as the other team was playing, and we were like, I don't know, we were running a lot of different things, and that was voted on unanimously. And we all thought for sure we're gonna get there. This is gonna be up there. We're gonna win this. So, I played in that overtime. I was never.
I was gonna say the overtime.
Never expecting to get there. Not expecting to get there. I thought we had it with the porn star. I thought that was game over.
And let me set this motherfucker up.
So the other team ends up tying it.
The game goes to sudden death. Craig is up.
Good night.
I'm fucking amped because I've never seen this episode before. Craig's up. It's sudden death. There's only one answer. It's him and this other dude, and they're at it. I'm like, Craig, you got this, buddy. The game's on the line. And Craig so quickly, and I mean, Steve didn't even get the question out of his mouth, and I saw Craig's hand moving, and it was name an insect that works harder than you do. Like, what a question.
Yeah, that was...
What and in a split second, boom, Craig, ant.
The guy didn't even have a chance to move. The guy had no chance to move.
I'll tell you.
No chance.
Well, what was that Steve like? Was arms up, clutch the episode, the Shandlers win.
That was my man, Reggie. That was my man, Reggie. What's up, Reggie, over there? That was my opponent. And again, I lost my job. In my head, I'm just thinking I got nothing to lose, and I was so shocked to even be going up there. I thought we had it with the porn star answer. So I also thought they would do like a commercial break or something, but they did not. So after we got that wrong, they
Just
were
went
just like,
right to
"Give me Craig, give me Reggie." I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh fuck." So and then all my years of training and beer pong and everything, I was just like, it's all mental. Everything comes down to that. So I was
Were you nervous?
definitely some part of me, but I did feel mostly calm and just like, let's just fucking go, let's go. So I remember I
Yeah.
pointed out my man Reggie, and then I remember I can break down every millisecond of that question because I was so focused on that. So when Steve said, name an insect, and I remember the first thing I was thinking about, beetle and butterfly popped in because I'm starting to think of insects, and they said that work harder than you do. Then I'm thinking, did he say insects? Because it said it. I wasn't sure if that was the word, and then I was thinking, can I ask him if he asked if it was insects? But then I remembered part of the preparation. The rules were like, Steve will not repeat a question. You cannot ask him anything. Um, and then in the very back of my head, my brain is operating at max capacity, and I really remember seeing some kind of documentary or something about ants. They're moving around, they're doing, they're carrying whatever 100 times their body weight and never stop. Something in the back of my head screamed ant because I knew time was ticking. Also, you can't just sit on it, and it literally was like, fucking say ant, and I just hit ant, and I had no idea if it was right. I had no idea if he said insect. I was mostly worried that like he was gonna be like, "What the fuck are you talking
just gonna
about?"
make a fool of
Ant.
yourself.
Did you hear the question? And
What's a vegetable? Ant.
and then they yeah. So I was afraid of looking stupid, but something in the back of my head was screamed it out of me. And
Mm.
then it waited a few seconds, and then finally it flipped, and I was just like, holy shit.
I was celebrating. Oh yeah. Why didn't you play Fast Money? So, your sister and your mom went. Your sister absolutely crushed it. Your mom, she had some questionable answers, but she ultimately walked away. Did you decide but did you have to decide before the
Yeah.
show who plays Fast Money?
Yeah.
Do you think that you could have done better than your mother?
I'm sure I could have done at least as good. Again, that came down to a family vote. They really pushed for it. I had faith in them and
Yeah.
supported the decision. But do I think I could have done it?
Assuming your sister and your mom watched together, or there's the ones who have watched,
Yeah, they're
or was it just like, go ahead?
If you're listening, Craig's laptop dies.
My last question was about Fast Money and your mom, and do you think you could have won?
Yes, definitely. I think I could have won. I was at that point. I was so amped up. I was ready to go, but I fully supported the rest of my family and was just hoping that we won, and
Yeah.
proud to do so.
Nick, do you have any questions? Because I mean, I won't ask too many more. I could keep going on. I thought it was amazing. But do you have any questions about his Family Feud experience?
I'm just disappointed that I didn't know there was two. I only watched the first one.
Oh
So
man, the second one was real. That was a sad episode. That was so we watched like 5 episodes before we went on. So we were the last one of that first night. So
okay.
then the next morning we returned as the returning champions as the first episode. So we got to skip, all the pre stuff. We were professional, we were ready by that time. So we get into the studio ready to go. We were like, we are kicking ass. we're ready to go. We keep winning. And then so that second episode, the way that we lost is still a sore subject. But we were dominating that game also, and then it was the last round, and then the other family got, I think they got like 3 of the 4 answers, and it was triple money, so they got like, I don't even know, 200 something points, and
Yeah.
ended up getting the 300. So for that also, I was like, hopefully, I was thinking in my head like, worst case we'll go to sudden death, and I'm ready to go. But we
So
didn't even get a chance. Yeah, that was real quick and real sad.
Mm,
that is where I fell asleep, Nick. I didn't want to spoil it that they won and had to come back for another episode. I fell asleep watching the second episode,
mm,
so I didn't get to finish it. But I did know that there
mm.
was no third, and I did know that they lost, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Well,
nothing
yeah,
nothing much.
once I knew there was only 2, I was like, "Well,
Wow,
there's
what an asshole! What a loser!
there can't be any this can't be a good outcome if there was only 2."
Yeah, that's
Wasn't a
that's
Ken
awesome
Jennings
though.
situation on the Jeopardy
I
where you
wish
just ran it
we
for
felt like it was going to be. Honestly, we were, I wouldn't say overly confident, but I just think, the way that it all transpired, because we were crushing them, whatever the first couple rounds were, and this last round they answered 3 answers and scooped up all the points, and
Yep.
it was real quick, unexpected, and sad.
How often do you go back and watch your episodes?
Not often. Sometimes my kids will ask. So since it aired, we've watched it three
That's
or
pretty
four
cool.
times maybe.
nice.
You don't get royalties for reruns, do you?
Residuals?
Yeah.
Oh, no, sir. I don't know if I'm authorized to disclose the.
You had to sign an
Steve
NDA? You had an
Steve
NDA?
Steve Harvey knows what he's doing. That's a professional enterprise, and
Yeah.
it was a great experience.
Did you get any of the winnings, or did that all go to your sister or your family? Or
Well, so we as a family just agreed to split the winnings between the 5 of us, and
nice. Okay. So what is it like? It's 20K, right? Like
is
4K each.
yeah, it's not a. We're grateful for the grand prize, but
Good.
yeah, at the end it was still all, great experience and worth it, but
No, what I mean.
not who wants to be a millionaire.
Hey, at least you didn't lose money going up
It's a
there. You know what I'm saying?
vacation, it's
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of a vacation.
A memorable,
Yeah.
family experience, and
That's awesome.
every I won't watch the show anymore because I'm still hurt that we lost that second one. But every now and then I'm
You
like,
didn't
damn,
watch it before you went on. What do you mean
we
you
should
won't
go.
watch it anymore?
They should invite us back on.
Tournament of Champions.
We'll tag Steve in this and be like, "Yo, we need the Chandlers back."
Yeah,
See,
come on, Steve.
it was
Can we be on?
much
Can we be part of the
much love.
Chandlers?
Yeah, switch it up.
Let's me and C-Rod part of the Chandlers.
Hell
Bump
yeah.
out Uncle Saul.
I'll be. I love that show, man. I watch Family Feud all the time. I watch it, I play it, like on Xbox and stuff. It's a good game. This man, we could
It
be here for hours. This
yeah,
was such a good
Family Feud.
episode, Craig. I had so much fun. Was there anything, Craig, that we didn't cover, or I usually have the guests say, one last word or anything you want, to put out there into the world, to the universe, to the listeners?
Wow. Well, I know a lot of this is mental health and relationships, and obviously you and I have had a long one and a great one. I'm grateful for you as a friend, and relating back to in fantasy sports, that's definitely played a role in our continued communication. And like I said, I think I've got a bunch of random group chats, and you might be in all of them.
Yeah, I think so.
And maintaining communication. And I tried to do that, in 2026. I called some people I haven't spoken to, and
I
especially
love
being a
that.
guy and having a family, and obviously your life changes a lot from the days of spring break. But I don't get sad when I see these pictures from 17 years ago. It's like, I'm like, oh man, that was awesome, that was fun, that
Always
helped bring me
only good
here.
memories.
And carry that over, and
Yeah.
try to do better, and make the world a better place. Have some good kids, productive citizens, and be
Have
as
some
happy as you
good
can be.
kids. I love it. How about you, Nick? Anything last for Craig?
No, I really appreciate it. This is probably the most we've ever talked. outside of the group chats or just the quick, back and forths and our trade talks. But no, I really enjoyed the conversation. I had no idea you were a part of C Rod's frat. It makes sense that half of our league is, I guess, all the ones that I didn't know, I guess, are all part of the fraternity. So that's cool. Like I said, no idea, but it was a pleasure, and thank you for being on.
Yeah. Yep. And
Well,
and
I
Craig,
appreciate you guys and what you're
I'm
doing.
gonna, I'm gonna ask you one last question. What's a story that your parents don't know about?
uh, well, I withheld a lot of stories from my parents that they subsequently found out about. I think my roommates getting kicked out was when I was rushing the fraternity, and I never told them that. And it was like two of my best friends, and I never told my parents what happened and that they ended up getting kicked out. And it was my other roommate that ended up telling his parents that got back to my parents. So they completely lost their shit on me because they thought like it had all just happened, but it really happened like months ago. So that was a funny thing to try to discuss with them, but uh, nothing's really ringing a bell. It's I try to tell my kids now, tell me anything, I'll never be mad at you, and you want them to share that with them. But whatever I needed to withhold from my parents, I did. But so
I love you, Craig. Team domination, hashtag TD4L, baby. Team domination for
sure,
life.
For
If
life.
appreciate you, but
For
that's right.
life. If any part of today's episode hit home, please share it with a friend. Tag us at CrodsPod on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok at CrodsPod and help us keep these conversations going. Also, if you're ever in an accident in South Florida and you need a lawyer, what is it? 1-800-HURT
1, 2, 3.
123, and find Craig Shandler in the South Florida area. We do drop new episodes every Thursday. If you've got a story, a topic, or you just need to vent, email us at crodspod@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. Our safe space is your outlet. And as always, until next time, live fast, eat ass, or just remember the cream always rises to the top.